Hello everyone. I welcome all of you to the third week of the course Energy Law. In this week, we will examine the role of energy in economic development and social transformation. Let us quickly recap what we have discussed in the previous week. In the previous week, we started our discussion by examining the notion of permanent sovereignty over natural resources, followed by its consequences. Then we examined the parallel development, self-determination over natural resources as people's rights. Then we examined how we can reconcile sovereignty with the principles of international trade law and international water law. In the last session, we have examined the other relevant principles in international energy law, such as access to modern energy services, energy justice, sustainable use of natural resources, protection of environment, human health and combating climate change, energy security, reliability and resilience. Week 3 is focused on exploring the role of energy in economic development and social transformation. We start by examining the link between energy, development and economic transformation, followed by the economic dimensions, social transformation dimensions, and cross-cutting and global dimensions. The last session of week 3 is devoted to case studies to demonstrate how energy access and innovation drive inclusive economic growth and social transformation. In today's session, we begin by examining the concept of energy-based economic development, followed by a discussion on economic transformation. Then we will explore the significance of renewable energy for economic development in the context of right to development, and will review the energy-related activities of selected UN agencies. In the later part, we will examine the way forward for integrating energy, development, and sustainability goals. Before examining the concept of energy-based economic development, let us understand what economic development is. Economic development is a process of creating wealth for nations and improving economic opportunities for the people. The outcomes are reduced levels of poverty and improved living standards for all. From the diagram, we can see that economic development and energy policy and planning are parallel in evolution, with emphasis on local asset-based competitiveness or local resources, technology and innovation, state, local level or subnational level policy emphasis, growing role for public-private partnerships, and so on. Economic development seeks to achieve growth and development that can result in increased self-sufficiency and increased diversification in energy resources. If we look at energy policy and planning, it seeks to achieve increased energy self-sufficiency and increased energy diversification that can result in economic growth and development through job creation and technological innovations. So we can very well say that the goals of economic development and energy policy and planning are converging. With this, now let us examine the concept of energy-based economic development. Energy-based economic development is a process by which economic developers, energy policy makers and planners, government officials, industry, utility and business leaders, and other stakeholders in a given region strive to increase energy efficiency or diversify energy resources in ways that contribute to job creation, job retention, and regional wealth creation. The definition may be broad, however, it is contributing significantly to the field in many ways. It encompasses an array of benefits that can converge under the disciplines of energy policy and planning and economic development. It allows for a wide set of policies and practices directed at the goals of energy-based economic development. Now, let us have our discussion on energy for economic transformation. Economic transformation is a long-term and continuous process of shifting labor and other resources from lower to higher productivity activities, both within and between sectors. This shift facilitates aggregate labor productivity growth over a sustained period and result in more diversified and complex productive activities. The role of the energy sector in economic transformation cannot be overemphasized. This is because the energy industry significantly influences the vibrancy and sustainability of the entire economy, from job creation to resource efficiency and the environment. We can very well say that energy and economic development are two peas in a pod. That means they are interdependent on each other. Energy contributes significantly to the economic development of a country. If we examine the different states in India, we can see that some states are very rich in agriculture, some states are having multiple industries, and some states are lacking in economic development. The difference stems from the differences in infrastructure development, and one of the most crucial aspects of infrastructure development is energy. This means energy and economic development go hand in hand. If we can improve the energy supply, more energy will reach the people so that they can engage themselves in productive activities that will ultimately result in economic growth and social transformation. The development of renewable energy resources significantly impacts the economic development. The benefits of renewable energy resources can be classified as economic benefits, distributional benefits, energy system benefits, and other benefits. From the economic benefits point of view, we may observe that the sector can contribute to job creation as the new technologies and projects require specialists in various fields from engineering to installation. Investments in renewable energy sector drive economic growth as the private and public sectors increasingly invest in infrastructure development and innovation. In addition, developing renewable energy sources can lower the prices of energy services for consumers, increase market competition, and reduce the dependence on imported energy resources. In fact, almost half of the world's industrial growth is from energy, although it takes only less than 1/10 share in the total cost of production. Growth in energy is believed to play a huge role in increasing GDP. In 1970s, there was an energy crisis, and as a result, the economy slowed down. The slow economic development was believed to be a direct consequence of the energy crisis. Now let us examine the relationship between renewable energy and right to development. For realizing the human right to sustainable development, states shall ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all. Government shall come up with policies for renewable energy expansion, including policies such as fiscal policy, trade and investment policy, research and innovation policy, industrial policy, labor policy, renewable energy policy, and so on. It is required that the just transition must provide for decent work opportunities for all and integration of human rights in renewable energy policies, including the right to take part in decision making. There shall be international cooperation for global renewable energy development. The other considerations are ensure participation and equality of opportunity for all in access to renewable energy services and consumption, gender equality in energy access and use, equal access to renewable energy to those in vulnerable situations. We must ensure that renewable energy installations shall not cause human rights harm, and states shall guarantee that everyone enjoys the benefits of science and its applications. Now let us examine the energy activities of selected UN agencies. FAO promotes production of low-cost transport fuel to contribute to urban food security. FAO also engages themselves in knowledge awareness programs. The Global Environmental Facility is an international financial program that provides incremental funding for projects with global environmental benefits. This program is supported by the United Nations Development Program, the United Nations Environment Program, and the World Bank. It is also a funding mechanism for the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is jointly implemented by the United Nations Development Program, the United Nations Environment Program, and the World Bank. The United Nations Development Program manages several energy-related activities. The Initiative for Sustainable Energy links energy with social and environmental issues and economic development. The activities are supported at the global, regional, and national levels, and it provides for technical expertise and training. The financing energy services for small-scale energy users aims to accelerate commercialization of renewable energy technologies. The United Nations Environment Programme focuses on less carbon-intensive energy systems and promote deployment of renewable and non-carbon energy technologies. The World Bank Energy Sector Management and Assistance Program provides for technical assistance in the energy sector. The Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Fund finances private sector renewable energy projects of less than 500 megawatts. The Solar Development Corporation promotes standalone PV systems through private participation mechanisms. The PV Market Transformation Initiative accelerates sustainable commercialization and financial viability of PV technology. Now let us examine what is the way forward. We must explore the relationship between energy and agriculture. In the last decade, we have seen a considerable progress in technical developments relating to plant or crop-based energy resources for modern energy conversion systems. And we should not forget the energy-agriculture nexus for sustainable development. The intersection of tourism and renewable energy is creating new possibilities for sustainable development. One very good example is that of Falses, a small wind-driven village in Spain. Electricity grids are the world's largest machines, but they were largely built piecemeal a century ago. We need to modernize our power systems for sustainable and clean energy. We need to ensure adequate investments in the energy sector, and we need to mobilize finances for energy infrastructure development. We need to secure critical minerals responsibly because the clean energy technologies rely on critical minerals like cobalt, nickel, lithium, and copper. Electricity buyers increasingly look for clean power, and major companies such as Apple, Microsoft, and Meta are already pledged to 100% renewable energy use. We need more collaborations to create a market for energy which provides for clean, abundant, and reliable power supply. We have to overcome the sitting hurdles for energy infrastructure development, and there is a need to cultivate the energy workforce of the future. Now, let us conclude our discussion. Energy lies at the heart of economic and social progress. It is both a catalyst and a constraint, enabling industrialization, enhancing productivity, and expanding human capabilities. The availability, accessibility, and affordability of modern energy determine the pace and inclusiveness of development. In the contemporary context, the transition towards sustainable and low-carbon energy systems offers not only an environmental imperative, but also a new frontier for economic transformation, generating green jobs, fostering technological innovation, and strengthening energy security. Energy policy is not merely a sectoral concern, but a cornerstone of national development strategy, shaping the trajectory of growth, equity, and resilience. Let's see what's coming up. The upcoming session will examine the economic dimensions of role of energy in economic development and social transformation. It will explore how energy functions as a foundational driver of industrial growth, competitiveness, and inclusive prosperity, while also shaping the transition toward sustainable and resilient economies. Thank you.